with RockwellBeats.com, the insider's guide to the music industry. This is the first in an exclusive series of interviews that we will bring you. Today we're at legendary Patchwork Studios in Atlanta, here to interview the hottest producer out right now who has worked with some of your favorite artists, Drumma. Check it out.
The first years, are your struggle. The first years are your pain. That's like your grind. It's like they call it paying dues. So it's like certain things and certain trials and tribulations that you got to go through in order to get to the next level, or in order to maintain on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? Because you know your business, you got your people in line, you got your team structure. You know what I'm saying? Like over those courses of 6 or 7 years, I've established, my team. I've developed my staff, we have a website. We're getting, with the full business aspect, off the ground, So, it takes time to do that. I started my company completely from scratch. I didn't take a loan out. I didn't do any of that. Anytime I buy equipment or anytime I sell a beat or do anything, I always reinvest in myself. So it's all about the brand. So that's the biggest difference, with me and other people. I had a plan the whole time, was to just build my brand and to make sure that it was respected. Those were my two priorities. The money, the power, I knew that was gonna come if I had a brand and I got respect. Then you get money, then you get power, My mother was a business, major. She majored in music, but she had a double major and also majored in music. So she was like the hustler slash accountant slash business sense, and always kept me and taught me how to do this and do this with your money, or just what to do and how to hustle and get it. Because she wasn't gonna, keep buying me Air Jordans and the expensive tags that I wanted to wear in high school. So I started providing all of that for myself, like at 14, My dad brought to the table, the orchestra side. He taught me like how to read music, play music by ear, rhythm ace. I was taking like ACT and SAT tutors, like every morning, getting up at 5:30 in the morning. He was like drilling me, make sure I was, educational. I could read, I could write, I could speak, I could pronunciate, articulate, just the whole nine. Like he would make me play like a scale 4 different ways, like 2 notes slurred, 2 notes staccato, and then 1 note staccato, 2 slurred, 1 staccato, and then 2 staccato, 2 slurred. Like, just understanding how to take one way you looking at something and flip it 360 degrees. My dad, I ain't really even tell him I was producing until I was 18. My mom was for it, Like I said, she got me the keyboard. And she just took a lot of chances in some of my beliefs, and I just constantly proved to her that I could do it. Like every boundary that I had, like if I was in a $3,000 or $4,000 debt, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna show you, watch. About a month or 2 later, I had that $3,000 or $4,000 debt taken care of. She helped finance my keyboard. Man, we had that paid off. Like she got me my first MPC 2000 XL. Had that paid off like 2 months later. So it was just like at that point she knew. She was gonna do whatever I believed in, period. Right. But my dad, I brought it to him when I was like 18. And I've told a couple of articles and interviews this story, But me and my dad got into it, and he told me pretty much that I wasn't gonna be successful with what I was doing. I need to go to school, yada yada yada. And cause he had found out that I had really like dropped out. Like I wasn't even going to class, so they pretty much kicked me out, like my 3rd year. Pretty much because it was wasting my time. Like, man, I was getting like 20, 30 phone calls in the middle of class. I got work to do. I'm up at like 5, 6 in the morning. Then I got to wake back up 8:30 class, do this. I got car note, I got insurance, I got, like clothes, like it's certain things that I have to do, and it was just like, really irking me, man, to be honest with you, And I was just like, I gotta do what I know is meant for me to do. And he was just like, man, you want to be so hard-headed, you want to be a fool, you going to end up like this, like that. He was like, man, since you making so much money, since you missed the big time, since you getting all this money, man, I want to see you get 100,000 in less than 12 months. If you don't get 100,000, if you don't show me that you got 100,000 in your bank account in 12 months, then I'm bringing your black ass back to school. And that's exactly what he told me, man.
And you were
And in 10 months, I showed him that bank statement.
You were 20, 21 or
21. I showed him that bank statement. And was like,
nothing.
He couldn't do nothing but smile, big as hell. I mean, it was crazy because, you know what I mean, 7th, 8th grade, I was in the band. And then 9th grade, I started playing ball. Like, I had been playing ball, but it was like, you know, I wanted to play ball through high school. Like, I just had dreams, you know what I mean, playing college, you know what I mean, going to the NBA, just, you know what I mean, the whole nine. Like, during the 90s, that was like every kid's dream was to be a ball player, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, you know what I'm saying, I seen Jazzy, you know what I mean, move to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And then my brother used to always talk about, you know, the music and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And then I used to look at just what DJ Paul and Juicy J used to do out of the city of Memphis, you know what I mean? And then it was like Carlos Brody, everybody talking about him and what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? And you got Slice T. Like, I was just around them all the time. So that's like what I saw, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I can do that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at the notes and what I'm playing just with the clarinet or just the orchestra music. Like, just orchestral music is so much more complex, you know what I'm saying? And just being able to read that, I was like, man, I can do that. I can make a beat, you know what I'm saying? First thing I started doing was crazy. I made a bass tape for a dude. The dude was like, man, I just got this system. I'm at Cordova High School. And he was just like, man, I just got this pickup truck, you know what I mean? I got some 15s and da-da-da in the back. And he was like, I want you to make me a bass tape. I give you $100. You know what I'm saying? So I had just got this keyboard. You know, I had been practicing. You know what I'm saying? My mom got me a keyboard when I was like 13. You know what I mean? It was like a Roland XP50. You know what I mean? It wasn't the first Roland, but it was like one of my first Rollers. And it's crazy. I made that bass tape, and the whole school was like jocking them. Like, everybody's like, man, you heard the system, da-da-da-da-da. Because everybody heard him when he pulled up, when he leaving. You could hear him like a mile down the street. Another cat, man, let me get a bass tape, man. Let me get one of them bass tapes. People started getting systems in their car, and I started booming bass tapes, you know what I'm saying? Then I did like a quadratic formula for one of my math teachers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made it. This was still when I was making cassette tapes. I was in like 9th grade. And she was like, you know, for extra credit, I want y'all to come up with a creative way to say the quadratic formula. So everybody was just coming up with poems and speeches and all of that. I brought in a tape. So she had to come in and get rent one of the tape players and whatnot, and I played it, and it was like X equals the opposite of B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC. 4AC, all up over 2A, all up over 2A. And my teacher just now recently reached out to me. Like, I talked to her like last week, and she said still to this day she teaching students off of that tape that I gave. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was just like, I mean, to just see that. Then I did like an album, you know what I mean? We put out like an Underground Street album on this group called Trill, you know what I'm saying? It was like out in the suburbs of Memphis. And I mean, we did a party at the complex one year, and just to see that many people reciting the whole words to the tape, you know what I'm saying? And just, man, what we call getting crunk, getting hype, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, folks bucking, and you know what I mean? It was just like basically people, you know what I mean, enjoying themselves and excited, you know what I mean? And I mean, I just knew I had what it took when I saw that. Like, honestly, that was like the day, you know what I mean, that I knew I was gonna be a producer. And it's just been on ever since.